especially like harmless customers that don't mean any harm, you're foul for that, in my opinion. You're absolutely foul. I don't like that at all. Wow, it's super bright in here. Oh, I'm like, where are my glasses? Anyway, this is my first time driving my car since probably the summer, I think, because I didn't drive it over winter break. I mean, it is winter break, but whenever I came home, like when I was in school, I don't know why I'm putting it on because I'm gonna sit in here for a second, but I wanted to like talk about it because I'm driving. Well, I drove to Panera. I'm in the Panera Bread parking lot. My driving was superb. I mean, my parking, I'll insert a picture, but anyway, so basically I wanted to talk about Panera because my Panera video did really well over the summer, and I thought I was gonna come back for winter break, but Corona got worse in my area, so my mom didn't want me to work because she's high risk, and my bun keeps messing up because it literally hits the roof of my car. And yes, I have to sit up all the way because I'm 5'2", but I secured my Panera, and I basically went to Panera today because I need to ask my old boss who loves me about a recommendation. And I didn't want to text him. I did text him and he didn't respond. So I did want to text him, but he didn't respond. So I had to pull up on him because I'm going back to school soon. So who knows when I'll post this video, but I think talking about Panera would be fun. So it's like the truth about working at Panera, since I officially no longer work there, and I don't think I'm ever going back unless it's during like a winter break, but that wouldn't be until next year. Oh, probably not next year because I'm probably doing semester at sea and there won't be enough time. But yeah, so I'm probably never going back to this Panera. But anyway, so let's talk about it. So basically, the first thing I wanted to talk about is like the perks that people think you get working at Panera, and there's just really not any. Like, you get half off a meal, but if you've gone to Panera, if you go to Panera, Panera is expensive. Like, you rack up those points. Like, I would always have a free bakery item, you know, but like, it was just not worth it at all. Like, I don't know, not worth working there, that's not what I mean, but like buying the 50% off food, like you were still spending $5-6 every day. So like, to me it wasn't worth it, but I did it anyway because I worked from 6:30 to 2, like all through the pandemic, so I was hungry. I mean, on week before the pandemic I only worked Saturday and Sundays, but I worked from open to 2 usually, so I would be racking up them hours, 1, and 2, I would get hungry because I don't eat that many times a day, so you know, eating at like 2, then I wouldn't eat anything else for the rest of the day, which would mess up my sleep schedule, I mean my eating schedule, because I didn't eat that much. And I still really didn't when I bought food at Panera, but I would eat once, and I probably would eat a snack when I got home, which is still not a balanced diet, but I only eat twice a day now. So, but anyway, so a lot of people think, oh, you get a free meal with every time you work. That's just not correct. It's 50% off. I mean, if the managers love you, then you can get a free meal, but they comp it as their meal, so at least that's what I think they do. I don't know. I got a free meal once or twice because I would always come in when somebody didn't want their shift. Like, for example, this girl that we worked with was pregnant, and whenever she didn't feel good, I took her hours. Like, I would offer if she was looking like she didn't feel good, so they gave me a free meal once or twice because of that. If they were ever short-staffed, I would come in and I would help, so they would give me free food because of that. But usually they were 50% off. And yeah, I mean, you could sneak a food if you wanted to, but I'm not gonna say I did that because I don't know if I could still get in trouble for it, but you could. But that's really, if you make the food, it's easier to sneak the food. Also, if somebody, like, I worked drive-thru, and if somebody ordered and got out of line, then we ate the food. But because we couldn't really give it to somebody else, because especially if their order was customized, we would always eat it. But like, if somebody ordered, like, say somebody ordered a Fronteka chicken, but then got out of line or like canceled that from their order, but somebody behind them ordered the same thing, then we would give the next person. But like, That did not usually happen. It was rare that people got all the way out of line, but if they did, like during the lunch rush, we would eat their food if it was already made and we couldn't serve it to somebody else. Drinks were the easiest thing to finesse because they were way too expensive. Like, there was a Bon Appetit drink, I forget what it's called. I think it's like the frosted, no, it's like the frozen coffee something, cold brew, frozen cold brew. I got the chocolate one, but there was also a caramel one, which was equally as good with one pump because I don't like caramel that much, but you couldn't really taste it. I also just liked if they had the cold brew and ice and just mix that would have been fine with me because I don't really love chocolate either because it gives me migraines, but I like chocolate more than I like caramel. Anyway, that's beside the point. Those were the easiest to finesse because all you had to do was make a little bit more and then you could drink the rest of the more because you would just dump it out anyway. So that was the easiest thing to finesse. But that happened a lot on accident with smoothies, and I don't like smoothies, so I didn't get the perks of that, but you could. And I'm trying to think. The uniform is good. Like, you could either wear a collared shirt or you could wear quarter zips because they fold over and they have the collar, and those are my favorite because I already have a very vast quarter zip collection because I'm obsessed. So that was a fun thing for me. And then, even though I hated this, after I had already bought khaki pants, they decided to let us wear non-ripped jeans, so I got to wear those, even though if my jeans had rips in them, you couldn't tell because the apron was so long. But there was also that. You also had to wear a hat, which was inconvenient for very many hairstyles, but you made it work. I'm trying to think, but like, secrets about Panera bread, it's just, I don't know. I liked Panera. I loved it. I don't have anything really bad to say about it. I didn't fancy everybody that I worked with, to say the least. I had friends, like I only worked with him on Saturday mornings though. His name is Aramis. He's in the Marines now, I think. He's a great guy. Cool kid. But we worked together and I liked him. I had this one employee, she quit though, but her name was Kira. She was cool. Loved her. We opened together, so like, you just had to bond with whoever you opened with or you would want to shoot yourself. Ayana, bestie for the rest of my life. She will be at my wedding. We became friends during my quarantine because she worked during the week and I only worked at weekends at first. So we became friends when I started working every day during the week. And then Stephanie was also my bestie and she worked in drive-thru. She was the one person, other than maybe Shania, but we rarely worked together because Shania worked afternoons, that was just like complimented me so well in the drive-thru. Like, I could never complain about her drive-thru skills. Stephanie, chef's kiss, love you. Anyway, I mean, Ayana worked with me in the drive-thru too, but like, not as the drive-thru person. She made our sandwiches and she was just like, her drive-thru times 2 seconds probably at the most, like, ever. Like, anyway, I don't have anything to drink and I'm parched, but that's not the point. Yeah, so that also can make your experience if the people are sucky, because I know when I started working every day in the morning, there was another drive-thru person who I shall not name because I feel like that's grimy, but he knows who he is because he's the only one left. But he drove me absolutely insane. Like, I don't think I showed it. I mean, he knew. If he didn't know, he's kind of slow, but he should have known that I did not like him. But it was just because the way he interacted with other humans. I don't care necessarily what you do to me, but what you do to other people, especially like harmless customers that don't mean any harm, you're foul for that, in my opinion. You're absolutely foul. I don't like that at all. But because he would just comment unnecessary things about customers that just was foul. I don't care. Like, we all had customers we didn't like, but you shouldn't be calling anybody the things that he would call people. He was just foul. I don't care. People loved him. I thought he was foul. Anyway, that usually happens though. Anyway, there was one manager I did not like, but it was nothing really personal. She just irritated me. Like, our personalities did not click well, and she was just very like unorganized, but at the end of the day she was the boss, so you couldn't say anything about her unorganizedness. And then if you made like a comment about it, trying to like be more efficient, she would say you're being disrespectful. I didn't fancy it. I just avoided her. I was gonna say hi, but she like didn't see me, so I was like, no need to go out of my way to talk to this girl I ain't even like that. So there was that. I'm trying to think of things that I didn't like about. I love Jim. Jim is my boss. I loved him deep down. Sometimes though, he was just too much of a man, you know, like you know how men often talk down to females, especially like when they're in a higher position than you. He just did that a little bit too much. Like, he didn't do it on purpose. He never did it on purpose, but it just, I'm too sensitive. I will cry. Like, I could be angry. Like, I could want to shoot you and I would cry. So it has nothing to do with Jim per se. It's just I was too sensitive, and my mom keeps saying I need to get over that, but it's just not gonna happen now with my anxiety. But anyway, I'm trying to think about things that I did not like about Panera. I did not like the people that came to Panera because they were prissy. They were just, you know, not a fan of me. I felt like 9 times out of 10 the customers didn't like me because of the way I looked. I can't pronounce, but I was chipper. They probably thought I was white by the intercom voice, but I did not. They just were never very nice. Like, you knew the people that didn't like black people versus the people that did like black people, and then you knew the people that weren't exposed to enough black people, because there's this National Business Parkway where there's all leaps of jobs over there. That sounded very Jamaican term, but heck of jobs over there. And I just felt like half of them that worked over there did not experience enough black people, and when they experienced me coming through their lunch break, they just were not nice about it at all. I feel like the sun is like, yeah, that's not gonna work. Anyway, but I'm trying to think. All in all, I don't have anything bad to say about Panera as a whole. I think it's a great company to work for. One of the things I don't like is I left Panera because I had to go to school, and in their little app it says I was terminated. I don't like that, but you know, if anybody ever asks them, they should tell the truth and say I left for school. But I'm trying to think. I have my food that's probably getting hot. I'm getting hot because it's like hot in here, but it's cold outside. I don't know. Anyway, so I'm gonna go home now, but yeah, that's just my recap on my Panera experience. I recommend all my friends to work at Panera. I don't know if it was just my Panera, but I always recommend to my friends to work at a Panera because I loved it. I don't know anybody that didn't like it. It's just like an easy job if you like care. Yeah, I don't know where I put my key. It's in here. Okay, but yeah, thanks for watching my recap on my Panera Bread experience. Sorry I'm squinting, the sun's right in my face, but yeah, bye.